30 times. Ten times more. Two times more. Letting go and
I
stop.
don't think in words, I don't have languages in my mind, I think in pictures or videos. So my memory is also like that. I just crisscrossed India, not trying to go anywhere, simply recording the terrain of the land. I still remember every small outcrop, a rock, a twisted tree here and there. This is what lives in my mind. So, I found the terrain, the geometry of the terrain as the most engaging thing for me always. So in that sense, I think some of the English writers became attractive to me because in their minds it looked like they also saw it that way, but they were trying to paint a colorful picture maybe for the readers, but they had… Even in that reading, I only saw the geometry of the land.
And when you finally did come to London, do you remember your first thoughts, what it was like?
See, for me, one place is not so different from the other, except for the culture and the people and stuff like that. Wherever I am, I enjoy whatever kind of place it is, because see, people are thinking they can enjoy something. No, if you're joyful, everything is a pleasant experience. See, as a generation of people, our survival is better organized than ever before. We have ability to communicate like never before. We have comforts and conveniences that nobody had ever imagined, this generation. But also, certain things happening. One thing is, there are more people on the planet today thinking for themselves than ever before. Otherwise, a religious book was thinking for them, a priest or a pandit or a mullah was thinking for them, or there was one wise man who was thinking for them. Now, for the first time, a huge, massive number of people are thinking for themselves. Well, you can debate always whether they're thinking right or wrong, all that thing, but at least they're thinking. When I say thinking, what happens to thought process is, see, if two people get into an argument, both the people think the other person is illogical. That means in their mind, there is a certain logical pattern. However illogical somebody may seem to you, in his mind he has his own logical pattern. Once this pattern sets up that there needs to be some logic for you to come to a conclusion of about anything, then many fanciful things that you believe, like your journey to heaven and what is up there and all these things, they start collapsing.
.30 times. 10 times more. Two times more. Letting go and stop.
If you look at this generation, let's say 2 generations ago, how many people in UK thought they will go to heaven? And today, how many people think they're going to heaven and they're preparing for it? Has come down dramatically. 80% heavens have collapsed in people's minds. Still they don't dare to say that because there is still fear. But in their minds, the aspiration of going to heaven is largely collapsed. So when heavens collapse, what will human beings do? They will try to find it here, which is a very good thing. But if you don't show them any way to find a heaven within themselves, that is when at least 80 to 85% of the population today is on alcohol or some kind of drug happening simply because they are trying to build their own little heaven. Because the other heaven that was promised for a long time has collapsed in their minds. We have come to a place where to grow our food, we need chemicals. To be healthful, we need chemicals. Today, 70% of the population is on prescription medication of some sort. To be peaceful, we need chemicals. To be joyful, we need chemicals. To be ecstatic, of course, you have ecstasy. So we are going towards chemicals in a huge way. The water that you drink is full of chemicals, the air that you breathe is like that, and the food that you eat is like that. So if 90% of humanity goes into chemical consumption, consciously or unconsciously, if they consume a lot of it, the next generation that we produce will be of a lesser quality than who we are. That's a crime against humanity.
Has that happened before in history?
No, generally always the next generation is better than the previous generation. But today we are coming to a place where we could be producing a next generation which is less than us. Once that happens, we have done something very negative against the fundamental life process. So, this heavens collapsing and it's like a trapeze, you're leaving one trapeze, you need something else, if you don't find it, you'll hang on to anything. So right now, chemical is the net. It's not another trapeze, it's a net that you can fall into and people experience their own little heaven. Well, it ruins you in so many ways. See, anything… this is not a moral issue for me. What I'm saying is, the important thing about life, whether it's a grasshopper out there or you, both of us are striving to be the fullest possible life that we can be.
"30 times. "10 times more. 2 times more. Letting go and stop.
A grasshopper is trying to be a full-fledged grasshopper, a human being is trying to be a full-fledged human being. So suppose you cut off one of grasshopper's legs which is supposed to hop, the hopping leg, if you take it off, have you enhanced its life, I'm asking you?
No.
No. So similarly for a human being, if you take away any of his faculties in any way, even temporarily, have you enhanced his life?
No.
So intoxication is just that, it is taking away your faculties for a period of time, but if you continuously do it, it'll take it away for your life. So you're taking away or subjugating your faculties for a little bit of pleasure, or maybe a lot of pleasure, whatever, however you wish to describe it. But the important thing is you're taking a backward step with life, because life can only be enhanced by sharpening and increasing our faculties, not by decreasing our faculties. Our ability to be active physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, if this is in any way crippled, this means we are taking a backward step, though there may be pleasure attached to it. So I'm teaching them a way. If you sit here with your eyes closed every day, I'm very proud of this now, there are millions of people, in the morning if they sit with their eyes closed for a few minutes, tears of ecstasy will flow, millions of people across the world.
That you've taught.
Yes, this is what needs to happen, because you need to understand the greatest chemical factory, the most sophisticated chemical factory is right here. The question is only, are you a great CEO or a lousy CEO? If you are a great manager, you will produce what you want from this. If you are a lousy manager, you do wrong things, you get anxiety, you get something else, you get rubbish going on within you because you are misusing your chemical factory or you don't know how to manage your chemical factory. Just look at my eyes, I'm always stoned. No, never touched a substance, but always stoned.
Is this because we have the technology for the chemicals, or are people taking the chemicals a reaction to this anxiety we feel?
No, see people, every human being wants his life enhanced. If you don't show them proper ways to enhance, they will find shortcuts. See, a man who goes to the bar and a man who goes to a church or a temple or whatever, they're seeking the same thing, they're trying to enhance their life, isn't it? If you do not show them a proper way, they will take whatever ways are available on the street, that's all. That's why I'm saying it's not a moral issue for me, it is just that it sets you backward. You want to go forward, but it sets you backward.
"30 times. "10 times more. "2 times more. Letting go and stop.
Besides the chemicals, what else bothers you about the world? Are you worried about climate change, war? Are you worried about AI, mobile devices.
Why would I worry about artificial intelligence?
I don't know.
If they're going to do all my work, I will be glad.
And what about global warming? What about some of these other issues of…
The environment is a huge issue right now, there's no question. Am I worried about it? No, I have a plan and I'm working to the plan. If everybody works to one plan, because the plan is not made by me or you, our plan is along with the natural contours of life. If all of us have the same plan, we can turn this around. But if you don't do that in the next 15 years' time, if you start now and next 15 years actively across the world, if we do certain simple things to correct, in another 25 to 40 years, there'll be a significant turnaround. But if you leave this for another 25 to 30 years, you go on business as usual and then try to turn it around, it will take 100 to 150 years to turn it around, because that is the kind of threshold we are on. If we cross that, then turning it around becomes a much bigger challenge than the way it is right now. This is a good time to turn it around.
Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna turn it around?
You're asking for a prediction, I'm telling you I have a plan. Are you committed to the plan? That's a question. Isn't it? Prediction means what? That means we don't have a plan.
And how do we get people to do this? Is it about education? Is it about people spending time without the chemicals, spending time with themselves? Is this why you wrote the book, Inner Engineering?
See, all those things have to be done, but they are not the solution. There are incremental changes. The important thing that needs to happen in the world is policy changes need to happen in the government level on a global scale. This is what we have achieved in India. For the rivers of India, I did this rally for rivers, which got a phenomenal support from the people. 162 million people participated, this has been the largest movement ever. 162 million people in 1 month's time. So we made a recommendation how rivers should be handled in India. So this has become official recommendation from the federal government now to all the states. So once the policy change happens, budgets will come and everything, the government machinery will start moving in that direction. Well, we've been doing a lot of work, we've changed a few things, many other organizations are doing this, but this is not real solution.
"30 times. "10 times more. "2 times more. Letting go and stop.
Solution will happen only when the fundamental policy in every nation changes towards a more eco-friendly way of doing things. One big mistake that's happened in the world is all these environmentalists are always fighting somebody. These fighting people, nobody wants to be a part of it because they are fighting against the economy. If ecology and economy fights, economy will win hands down. So, one fundamental change that I brought about in Indian mindset is, I said I'm going to marry, I'm going to officiate the marriage of ecology and economy. If our economy is not conducted in an ecologically sensitive way, if you say ecology or economy, well, only economy will happen, ecology will go, totally get destroyed. We will only turn around when some great disaster happens to us. You don't have to wait till then. So it's important that I involved the corporate sector in India and made them understand we are not looking for how to destroy your industry. We are only giving you suggestions how to transform your industry so that you could be serving in a larger way than the way you're serving right now. So this is important. For this, policy change is needed, hand-holding is needed, and turning around is needed, rather than going against somebody.